So when I wear them, I have to have my head up. Right? Otherwise I can't see. So when I run or I walk, I have my head up. Actually, a woman who, like an older woman, told me when she sits in the car, she sets the mirror a little bit like she can see only half, right? But if she sits well, she sees everything. Okay, right? So that's again a driver for her to straighten her back up.
Yeah.
And by the way, it doesn't matter where you are. You see, if you are here, you can still. It doesn't matter what age you are and what state you are, right? You can still, like, if you are here starting already to down, whatever. Because there's not only posture and the balance, and there are many things. You are losing your muscles. You are losing many things. You start peeing in your diapers. So you can actually go from here again straight, right, like this. Or if you are here already, like you are in your 40s, it gives you a good habits. What I'm saying, you don't have to say, well, I'm waiting for me to become 65 and then I stop, right? It gives you good habits. So it's good for everybody. It's a win-win situation, right? Okay, so let's go back to this, right? Okay, so creative solution. So I did that. You can have any other solution to be aware and observe. So you can still. So when I started 10 years ago, right, realizing I'm a little bent, what I did so far, I can measure myself. Actually, I got improved a little bit, like half an inch, which is great. Not to go down, at least half an inch. So what do I do more? If I have a door at home, right, I'll touch the side of the door and go like this for 10 seconds, like this in one. Balance, the same thing. So I'll show you later, right? It's like many things I can do within the 5 seconds from incorporating it with my life. Okay. Now, food and diet. Okay, the normal thing now, there's a whole marketing for this, lots of books and marketing trying, the Jenny Craigs and Weight Watchers and all this stuff. Normally, anybody who loses like 50 pounds and they show you on TV, I was this and now it's this, basically they gain everything back. 95% of them gain all that weight back. So my system is not doing this yo-yo, like 50 pounds down and then you lose it and then you gain it again and back and forth. Okay, my system has basically, and I have the physiology for it and so on. You start losing very little every time, like 2 pounds maybe every 2 months, but it is solid. And you are not going anybody who loses very fast, because there is something in the entire body and the mind called homeostatic state. The body doesn't want to have big changes. That's why you have the temperature stays within a range, everything within a range. So when you lose weight very fast, right? There are two hormones. The one is called leptin and one is called ghrelin. There are two hormones that they basically makes you much more hungrier, because the body says, well, I'm losing weight, I need to get it back. Okay, so the hormone make you hungrier than regular, right? And then you start eating again a lot, And there is many more reasons. And so my thing is the chapter on food and diet is the psychology of dieting, and how do you reduce and how do you keep your weight intact. The psychology, everybody can count calories, count the calories every day, that's not the issue. The issue is not counting, because if you are eating a hamburger, how much you are eating, or eating a salad, right? So you don't need to go and weigh the hamburger to find out how much calories you are losing or how much calories. So there is more than that. So again, that's part of it. So you are aware that you need to lose weight, or aware that your weight is okay, or aware that you are not eating well, whatever. And then you observe, and then you create a solution. Okay. Now, mental, same thing. Like you're aware that you forget where your keys are, and you are forget. I go to the kitchen and I don't remember what I went to the kitchen for, right? So all these things I give, and so it means that you are aware and you are observing that these things are happening, and you want to change it, right? And when you think about it, you can create a creative solution. That's why in the book I have lots of creative solutions of what to do in these cases, right? Not just to say, well, I'm too old now, and that's what's happening, like people start to lose their pelvic muscles, right? They start peeing in their pants, the babies. So what to do? You are observing that and then you have to do something about it. So there are lots of like Kegel exercises and many things that you can do while you are in the car, and it helps tremendously, right? You can avoid having diapers all your life. And this is called that condition called incontinence, right? When people pee in their pants, right? So they cannot, they cannot control it. So this guy, there is a hotline, incontinence hotline. So he called the hotline, and the operator says, "Can you hold?" Now, the most important thing in all of this is your emotional state. Are you happy? Are you depressed? Are you anxious? Are you fearful? And many people in many different stages of life, but specifically when they are very older, they have fears. Like I'm afraid I'm going to be sick. I'm afraid that I outgrow my savings. Okay, that's very normal fear. Okay, again, you can think about it, and I'm giving it in the talk. This is where mind visualizer come in. The balls and the cubes and so on. How to avoid all of that, or how to, in fact, let me show you. So let's go back. Let's go a little bit more further into the chapter of the book. Okay. So in the physical, I have something very important that I'm calling single repetition exercise. That's a little bit oxymoronic, right? Like repetition but single, right? So I noticed the following observation, and tell me if I'm wrong. When people, 95% of the people on Earth, when they go to the bathroom, they don't have a toilet, right? They have like a hole. That's what we used to do in Iraq and in India and all those places. So what do? You go like this and you stand up. How many times you are doing it a day? Once. If you have diarrhea, maybe you do it twice. Right? But what's the conclusion from that? That if people get to even 95 years old, they are still doing it, right? They have to go to the bathroom. Yeah. So they can sit and get up. And which means the muscle, right, of entire group of muscles to let you get up are still intact. And why? Because they are doing it only once every day. Which means if I do now every other thing, every muscle, only once every day, right? Only once, I'm keeping them. No, I'm not going to be a Schwarzenegger here, right? But I'm keeping them straight, right? I still use them. So if I do a sit-up, I can do a sit-up every day once. Then I can do sit-ups, right? push-ups, all of that, only once. Because now if you take an average person, like even in their 60s, and here in our culture, and you tell them sit down and get up, they'll need help to get up. Okay? Because again, and they're not used, they are not that, you know. So for example, when I get up the morning from bed, I don't just get off bed, I'll do a sit-up, one sit-up without holding the bed, and then get up, right? So I know my back sit-up is okay, you know, all the muscles, the group muscles. So that's one of the things in the book of that chapter. How do you, with very little, so that's why you need 5 seconds. I don't need millions of repetition to do, you know. If I do 5, of course, if you are going to the gym and you are doing all of that's great, good for you. I'm talking about those couch potatoes. You know, like 70%, this is statistically. Like this guy who was almost couch potato, sitting, drinking beer all day, and like 70, 75 years old, and his wife was watching TV, right? And they were watching TV about those people who had like brain damage, brain death, and the argument was whether to let them die or keep them hooked to all of those, you know. So he told his wife, he said, listen, if I get to that state, I want to tell you, if I get to that state, I don't want to live. I want to go and pull the plug, and get all the liquid out. I don't want to live that way. So if I get to that condition. So she went and pulled the plug from the TV and threw all the, threw all the beer. Okay, so it's 5 to 10 seconds, right? Now, what I did in the book, I observed idle time. Okay, what is idle time? We have, although you think you are busy all the time, but there is always some seconds of idle time in your life, in your daily life. You know, for example, you are boiling water, right? You have at least 10 seconds so you can do many things with that 10 seconds when you are boiling water, or brushing your teeth. You can stand on one foot. This is to do balance, to extend, and very important to gain your balance back, because most of the people they when they get older they fall and they break their hips, you know. So this is kind of giving your balance back, or strengthening your balance, right? Or when you walk from your bedroom to the kitchen, you walk on your toes, so it give you the calves will be strengthened, right? And that doesn't require any time. Okay, and you know, we are losing flexibility. So again, you're like, if you tie your shoe. If you are young, you can go all the way down, tie your shoe. If you are old, you put your automatically your foot on a chair or something, and then you tie your shoe. Who is talking? Satan. Yeah, Satan is little by little kind of take away all the functions, you know, reducing your flexibility, reducing your this, you're reducing your balance, you know, until you don't feel like living anymore, right? Okay. Then there's another concept. The idle time is not only at home. You know, like you are sitting, standing in the supermarket in line. Yeah, you can stand on one foot, or you can have exercise. I don't take these cards, right? If I have not much to buy, then I'll buy like I take 2 of those bags. What do you call them? Baskets, and I put right 2 symmetric. And then I go like this, you know. People think I'm crazy, but it's okay. You know? Right? I'm doing like 2 dumbbells. Another important concept is called, you know, remember the thing that says out of sight, out of mind, yeah. Right? Everybody knows that. Yeah. But I have the opposite of that. I say inside, in mind, right? Which means if you put things inside all the time, right? It reminds you of things. Like I have a sticker on the door. I know when I come through the door, I have to do this, right? Or you want to have a